What if I told you that the people who tried to break you are now being broken, not by your hands but by their own minds? That the same ones who mocked your pain, who conspired in silence, who smiled while they set traps, are now tormented by the very darkness they embraced. This isn't karma in theory. This is real-time spiritual correction. You're not imagining it. You're witnessing divine balance. While you rise, they're unraveling. Not because you cursed them, but because they cursed themselves the moment they touched a soul that was protected. There are moments in life when the attacks against you weren't just personal, they were spiritual. The energy behind the people who came against you was so aggressive, so relentless, that it felt unnatural. What you experienced wasn't just jealousy. It was deeper. It was dark. These individuals were operating under the influence of something far more destructive than simple envy. When someone harbors that much negativity toward a person who's done them no wrong, you must understand that they are battling an invisible war inside. Many of the people who hurt you, betrayed you, or plotted against your peace are not just unkind. They're unwell, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Their instability is a reflection of a deeper internal chaos that has never been addressed or healed. We live in a world that often glamorizes pride and power, but neglects the silent suffering that festers in many hearts. The very people who wished harm on you, who tried to sabotage your purpose, are now facing consequences they never anticipated. Their mental torment is not a coincidence. It is a reflection of seeds they planted in darkness. They thought they could manipulate, gossip, and lie without consequence. But what they failed to understand is that life has a built-in law of reciprocity. You cannot destroy others and expect peace to visit your doorstep. Many of them are now plagued with inner confusion, anxiety, and overwhelming depression, not because someone cursed them, but because they cursed themselves by touching what they should have left alone. You were chosen, marked, and not in a religious sense, but in a universal sense. You carried a vibration they couldn't stand because it reminded them of everything they were not. And rather than heal, they hated. Rather than grow, they attacked. And now, their punishment is not physical, it's mental. Psychological imbalance is the result of years of spiritual imbalance. There are people today who need medication just to function, and not because of genetics, but because of guilt. There are individuals seeing therapists weekly, not just for trauma, but for the torment of being unable to outrun the truth. They mistreated someone pure, they plotted against someone peaceful, and now they cannot sleep without interruption. Their minds are heavy with consequences. These aren't just mood swings. We're talking about full-blown psychological collapse, bipolar episodes, personality disorders, hallucinatory delusions, all rooted in an unresolved spiritual wound they chose to ignore. Their mental states are not random. They're the fruit of toxic seeds sown over time. Let's make something clear. Not all mental illness is rooted in wickedness. Many people struggle silently with no fault of their own. But what we're speaking of today is a specific group. Those who knowingly chose darkness, who relished in cruelty, who orchestrated harm, and now find themselves spiritually bankrupt. And some of them are still wearing masks. They pretend all is well, smiling on social media, showing up to events. But behind closed doors, their world is crumbling. Nightmares, panic attacks, paranoia. It's all catching up. Because there's no peace in wickedness. There never will be. The torment they feel now is just the beginning. Life has a strange way of reflecting our choices. When you mistreat people who are truly good to you, not perfect but genuine, you begin to spiral. Whether slowly or suddenly, that karma circles back. The universe remembers. So when you see people who once seemed powerful start to unravel, don't celebrate. Just understand, it's not personal revenge, it's spiritual balance. Life is correcting the scales. You didn't need to fight them. You didn't need to clap back. Their own actions are their own undoing. This is why it's so important to protect your energy. Not everyone attacking you is in their right mind. Some are battling addictions, voices, inner torment they can't even describe. And you? You just got caught in the crossfire because your light triggered their darkness. They tried to make you the villain in their story, but now they're realizing they were the architects of their own downfall. They pushed, they lied, they manipulated, and now they're left holding the shards of a life that's unraveling fast. And still they wonder why. Some of them are now experiencing what you experienced: isolation, betrayal, pain. But without the inner strength, you had to endure it. You were built for your battle. They were not. And it shows. They're mentally breaking, emotionally collapsing, spiritually bankrupt. And yes, many of them look like zombies now. Alive, but not really living. Walking, but without clarity. Smiling, but with nothing behind the eyes. It's a quiet judgment. You'll see it more often as we enter deeper into these prophetic times. People reaping what they sowed silently without warning. And no, it's not about punishment from a vengeful God. It's about accountability from a just universe. When you poison others, you drink it first. When you lie, you live in fear. When you harm, you lose peace. That's what these people are now facing, the mirror of their own evil. So don't feel bad when people who hurt you start falling apart. That's not your burden. You tried to love them, you tried to warn them, you tried to stay kind, and they mistook your grace for weakness. Now they're mentally unraveling because the spirit they welcomed has turned on them. Every wicked deed they committed was witnessed. Every manipulation, every backstab, every lie. And the judgment is not just fire and brimstone, it's madness, confusion, unrest. These are the real judgments of the wicked, and some are just beginning. You are protected. Your peace is your shield. Stay grounded, keep your spirit clean. Because in the times to come, you'll see more and more people fall not by swords, but by their own minds. They attacked someone covered, and now they're being spiritually exposed. So walk in strength, walk in clarity, and let the mentally tormented deal with their own judgment. You don't need revenge. You don't need validation. What's coming for them is far beyond anything you could have done. Their own minds are the battlefield, and they're losing. And now repeat this prayer with me. Dear God, I ask for divine clarity to guide me in moments of confusion and doubt. May I always know when to step back and protect my peace from those who wish to disturb it. I speak protection over my mind and emotions, shielding myself from projections, lies, and the spiritual battles of others. I pray for discernment to recognize when someone is not whole, and the strength to walk away from their dysfunction without guilt. May those who secretly plotted against me find truth and transformation if they choose it. But may I never be bound to their redemption story. I declare that I will no longer carry the emotional weight of other people's unhealed trauma or misplaced blame. Let my path be protected from the mentally tormented whose intentions are rooted in darkness and deceit. I release any desire for revenge and choose peace, knowing that the universe balances all things in due time. May I never become bitter or cold from what I've endured. Instead, let every scar be a reminder of my strength and growth. I trust that every wicked deed done in secret will be brought to light, not by me, but by a higher power working in divine timing. I honor the divine within me, the light that cannot be dimmed, the peace that cannot be shaken, and the destiny that cannot be stolen. Amen.